senior citizens who will receive a tax credit of $5 an hour if they want to work at the school. And then there was 2 construction-related bills. The Senate Appropriations Committee had 2 bills related to the employment of people in the school district in relation to their criminal record of arrests and convictions, and their need to report them if they've been arrested or convicted while they're employed. The Senate Education Committee had 17 bills up. Alternate certification for principals and teachers. 4 bills were related to construction projects. 1 bill to increase the threshold requiring cost for bidding. So that's something that was talked about tonight, going out for bidding. Well, they're actually going to have legislation to increase that level before you need to go out for bidding. Suspension of some reporting requirements for districts. 2/3 vote from the school board is going to be required for a tax increase. Economic furlough for teachers, which is of importance, I'm sure, for many of the teachers, and how they can be furloughed because of economics and not necessarily seniority. School nursing eligibility, which would allow RNs to take that position. Advertising options for the school district. Internet, using the internet would be one of the things that would be part of it, and using local newspapers and things, as long as it comes out a certain period of time during the week. Exemption for continuing education of superintendent and administrators. This applies to schools that are not meeting AYP and PVAS. It repeals the limit on how the basic education funding is used. Before it had to be used, if you had extra, you had to use it for funding more programs. You had to add on a program. They're going to repeal that. Education eligibility for superintendent and assistant superintendents. No transporting of students out of state. I don't think we have a problem there, but collective bargaining will be used to determine the sick and sabbatical leave, whereas now it's regulated. Continuing professional education requirements. The Senate Finance Committee is proposing bills that would allow installment payments of taxes for small business. That would be a business less than 40 employees. Elimination of 10 of the Act 1 exemptions and the court-proof exemptions, which is very evident with everybody's concerned about that. Many of the exemptions have already been self-imposed restrictions on them. They're tied to either the CPI, the Consumer Price Index, or are related to federal and state mandated issues, which the school district has no control over. In particular, special ed requirements and fees. We have no control over what those things are and what the cost is. However, we're going to be obligated to pay. 4 construction-related exemptions and their debts. And an interesting fact is in 2007 to 8, they had an average of 4.2 exemptions per district. 2010-11, there were 2.4 per district filed. The highest amount were related to PSERS, followed by special education. In addition to that, I'd like to talk about a meeting that Mrs. Hutchinson and Mrs. Schaefer and I attended last Thursday. This is with in Greensburg with representatives and Senator Kim Ward. There were 10 to 15 districts in attendance for this. This was meant to be an update on the legislation for the districts and what was happening. And I covered a lot of those things in my previous paper there. Every district represented was experiencing budget difficulties as a result of the cuts by the state. One district was facing a possible closing. They couldn't make the budget. Cyber school costs were addressed specifically by some of the district members. And they pointed out that public money was being used to fund a private enterprise. Cost of the advertising campaign put on by these cyber schools exhibits how much money there is to be made by these schools. They're not required to maintain an infrastructure like the district does for the buildings, the gyms, the auditoriums, the football fields. The profits to these cyber schools are leaving the district. They're not used for educating anybody in our district. or in anybody's district around here. Ironically, I thought it was kind of interesting that we were advised of our need to make expenditure cuts and adjustments, which we have, and rely less on the state aid, while their legislative payroll has expanded nearly twice the rate of inflation since 2005, and consists of the nation's largest full-time legislature and its continually growing staff.
Dr. Oram, you'd like to make a comment?
I do. I forgot to mention this. We are strongly considering not renting caps and gowns for graduation. It's a cost of more than $1,000.
I've heard enough. That's ridiculous.
If any of you
Absolutely
have a
ridiculous.
feeling
Stolen up on-
You do not have the floor, please.
You're right, I'm on the floor, but one day I hope to be up there and make this right.
in one direction or the other, please let me know. We need to decide by Wednesday. So if you have a feeling one way or the other, give me a call. Thank you.
The next meeting of the Lincoln Valley High School Board of Directors will be May 9th, at 6 o'clock planning session, 7 o'clock regular meeting. Do I have a motion for adjournment?
Caps and gowns rental is for the staff, not the students. The staff, the board, I didn't realize that was, sorry.
Okay, I have a motion, second for adjournment. All those in favor signify by saying aye.